So here's an example where they want me to decide whether the conclusion reached from the two statements demonstrates the law of detachment, the law of syllogism, or neither. So now they're not asking me to come up with a conclusion using a specific law. All they're saying is to determine which one was used, if there is one that was used, because if not, I would put neither as my solution. So since I have to observe if it is law of detachment or law of syllogism, it helps to have on hand somewhere the two types of laws. So for the law of detachment, I know that would be this case where I have one conditional statement. I know the hypothesis is true, and then my conclusion would be that Q must be true, the conclusion. And that was for the law of detachment. Then the law of syllogism would be this case where I have two conditionals. P implies Q, Q implies R, and then my conclusion in this case would be that P implies R. So that is the law of syllogism. So I'm going to convert all this into notation so I can see if it's either case. If not, I'm going to put it's neither. So if Cedric plays in a big game, then he gets nervous. If Cedric gets nervous, then he performs well. My conclusion is if Cedric plays in a big game, then he performs well. So since this is my first conditional, I'll label it as P. Cedric plays in a big game. Then he gets nervous, so that'll be my Q. Let me just change this so I can see a little bit better. So that will be, this will be the P, this will be Q. Cedric gets nervous, so that goes with this conclusion, so I'll label this as Q again. So if Cedric gets nervous, then he performs well. That is neither P nor Q, so I'll put this one as R. So my first conditional is P implies Q. My second conditional, Q implies R. So I have two conditionals, so I know I'm looking at law of syllogism here. So if they did it correctly, it should be P implies R. So that should be my conclusion. Oops, and this should not be there. So here's my first conditional, second conditional, and the conclusion should be this. So let's see if it's true. If it doesn't have this format, then it's neither. So Cedric plays in a big game. That is the value for P. Cedric plays in a big game. Then he performs well. He performs well is R. So my last conditional is P implies R. So I can see that this is the law of syllogism in this problem. Right? It has the same exact format. So these two match up. Therefore, I know that they apply law of syllogism correctly.